All right, guys. How's everybody tonight?
Awesome, Dirk. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
I'm doing absolutely freaking amazing. Nothing I like more than sitting down with a couple of sexy RC buddies. You know what I mean?
We got it.
You got it?
Absolutely.
We're here. We're
Yes,
here to
you are.
partner. Thanks for having us,
So
Dirk.
I'm gonna post this up to a couple places real quick because it did not let the others load. So give me 1 second.
I just shared it on my page as well.
Good.
Do we have folks that were waiting in the room patiently as we got all of our IT issues taken care of?
Right. Yeah. I come home and I'm like, my computer's not up here. Then I forgot I had I'm building modern cars right now. So I had stuff all over my table. And I, of course, had to get my Dragon Punch rides and put them in the background, So yeah, we have 17 viewers already, which is amazing. Amazing start.
We're gonna get some more. I want to see at least 50. That's my goal.
Oh yeah, you'll see 50.
All the viewers on there, push notifications forward.
Forward that thing.
Come along for the ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, what a ride it's been, right?
True story.
True story.
It's a big ride with no sleep.
Truer story.
All right. Let me see here, guys. Let me post this to a couple groups. Woo. Well,
we already got some people doing some shout outs. I love it.
All right. Yeah, the numbers are going up. All right, guys. We are here tonight with my buddy Daniel McDade.
Hello.
Of Dragon Punch RC. And good buddy Jose, or Jesus as I call him. Zayas of Z3D.
Z3D, baby. That's what we're doing.
Right?
That's right.
And if you see on the thing, we got Z3D plus DPRC equals modern vintage. So an exciting day, guys. I know y'all have been working hard in the background. But Daniel, I would love to start out by you kind of telling a little bit about you and kind of how you got started in RC, and then we can move down to Jose. I mean, I know that a lot of people know who y'all are, but for those that are watching for the first time, I think it would be great for them to know a little bit about you.
No problem. So I have, like a lot of us as a kid, raced RC more as a hobby than as a serious racer, as you guys I would classify either of you as. Childhood buddies, hanging in the neighborhood, racing cars, having fun. Kind of fell out of the hobby as I got older and in college. Sold off my collection to pay for books when I was at school.
For books, really? Come on, man.
Seriously, I'm not kidding.
All right.
So COVID happened, and like a lot of us got back into the hobby. A good buddy of mine convinced me to restore a few of his cars for him, and it was an addiction that was reborn, and I hunted down my original cars that I sold off. The guy I sold them to still had them, believe it or not.
Really?
Yep. So got my championship edition RC10 back. He had my RPM Ultra mold. I got that back, and started restoring lots and lots of cars, Yokomos and RC10s mostly. Started making parts for what I couldn't find, and as I'm sure most were aware, parts became extremely expensive. What you could find were super expensive.
You got that right.
We started cutting carbon, and then we started machining aluminum and plastic, molding plastic. We've got a machine shop right here outside of Detroit. We do all our own machining here in house, and have a couple of key partners that that do a few things for us here domestically that we can't do here or doesn't make sense for us to do here. But
Right.
we try to do everything that we can here right outside of Detroit. And kind of that's our motto is Made in America. And we try and live to that as much as we can. And, that's kind of our motto. And, the rest is history. 2025 has been a crazy, crazy year for us and, for the industry as a whole. And we're extremely grateful for all the awesome customers and, collectors and racers that have been along with us for the ride. And, you guys have been part of that and been awesome to get to know Jose through the year. Feel like I know
it's a quick relationship, right?
It's like fast forward. It's like speed dating. It's been crazy.
I'm sitting here trying to think how many cars, Dan, that you and I have traded back and forth over the years. It's been crazy.
At least a dozen, right?
I think at least a dozen. And then we traded and we asked for some back, and it's been fun, man. I can't be more proud of kind of what you've done in the industry. Just since I've known you and really the last year and a half, you have just taken off with Dragon Punch. And
it really started out as a hobby, and it's really I don't know that I can call it that anymore. It's our requirement is got to be pushing what my day job's time requirement is, if I'm being honest. It's a constant conversation with the missus, who is now it's full-time job for her too now. So
mine as well. And I'm sure she's there helping you. And, it's funny. They say sometimes when you turn your hobby into your business, it's going to depend on how it goes after that, I guess. Jason Rono and I had a long talk last night and talked a lot about this launch as well. And we were talking a lot about that, because there's nothing that lights me up and sparks me other than my wife, and my son, than RC racing, and not just the RC racing, but this community, that I've worked really hard on over the last 12 years to build and bond. And, these folks are, the people like you and Jose, I consider you guys my best friends, just because we have, I never did save the screen layout. Hold on. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. There's numbers on us. But, it's been awesome. So I can't thank you enough, Dan, for what you've done. And this project has been, I'm sure it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And now probably some cheers and beers, if I was guessing.
Not yet, but soon.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Rest, right. Sleep more appropriately, but yeah.
Sleep more appropriately. Sleep is very, very important.
Yeah.
If not, you start making a lot of mistakes. So,
right.
Jose, my man.
Hey, Dirk.
What's up, my dude?
Not much, man. We're just excited. Thank you again for having us on your podcast here. It's exciting to be here with the industry, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Sweet. So Jose, Jose brought up a point. I've had this dream for a while to really start, and we've had a lot of great success promoting. I've got the chance to be a part of, in my opinion, two of the most historic, memorable vintage races probably to ever happen in the past year. Right, this same year. And it's something that I'm passionate about, something I'm good about, so we're starting, old school RC legendary promotions, and going to help people like you. I'm going to be working with Jason Rono on the new outdoor series and several others, so excited to get that. And, he said podcast, but we call it live cast. We're going to be starting a series called Legends Old School RC, a Legends Story. All right. That's gonna go into talking to legends and really hearing the stories from when they raced back in the day, which a lot of people want to hear. So
Sounds
So
like
Jose, thanks for picking me to and Dan for picking me to help you guys launch this, and I can't be more excited. So
well, Dirk, listen, really quick. My story started in what I would call modern vintage racing, hence the name. Pun intended, actually, but started the first race that I attended almost 3 years ago, where I met you. So it was very intentional for us to work with you in our launch. We're grateful for you inviting us to be a part of your live cast, and I think you're the right person for us to share a little bit of our story. I'll just be very brief. Dan shared a little bit of his story. Similar to Dan, and if you saw the video today of the great team that we put together to debut the car, which I'm sure we'll talk about, we all have 30 plus years in this hobby. It's a hobby that we all genuinely love for one reason or another. The community, the excitement of racing, the ability to hang out with your friends. There's so many reasons why we all do this hobby. I started in the 80s, like I would say most of the folks probably in the vintage community. And it's been a bug in me that I haven't been able to dispel, much to the dismay sometimes of my family, because it does consume a lot of time. But it's just a lot of fun. And as time has progressed, I've gone from racer to, like many folks, took a little bit of a stop, right, with folks for one reason or another. For me, it was family, and came back at it again. And I thought I was going to be a racer. And, here we are now talking about it as a business, not only from what I do for Z3D, which just celebrating a year this year, very much in its infancy, still in the honeymoon, if you call 2 years a honeymoon. And, now doing modern vintage. And I feel like I'm 16 again, just super excited about what we're doing. And as Dan alluded to, Dan and I have, our relationship started, by the way, Dirk, at the event that you helped in Indiana.
Yeah.
At the golfing event that you set up in the evening of Indiana, where I actually met Dan. I honestly met him. We saw each other passing here and there, but we talked there. And now that we're like 6 months into our journey together, probably not even 6 months, I feel like I've been working with Dan for years.
He does that to you.
We've even traveled together. Most recently this past weekend, as we did planes, trains, and automobiles. We can talk about that later. But at any rate, longtime racer, diehard fan of Team Losi. Started with Team Losi in 1996. And my first car was a Double X. So this product, this venture, this everything is super special to me, and to be able to do it with Dan and bring together something that we think is exciting. It's something that's really different than anybody's done. So we're really proud of that. And the fact that we were able to do it like it was done in the early days, made in the USA. It's not easy, but we feel it's the right thing to do. So we're super excited about it. So thank you again for what you do. And thank you again for, bringing us here together to have this conversation.
Oh, you're more than welcome. So you kind of explained my next question is, so how long have y'all been working on this modern vintage project, this together behind the scenes?
Dan, maybe I'll just give a little crack since I was already talking about it really quick. But so Dan and I, of course, met in Indiana. I already shared that. And our relationship really expanded initially with just talking about parts that we can consider doing together in some way, shape, or form for the vintage community. Several of you might have seen that Dan has had a few releases that I think are really, really cool for different associated cars, and I have as well, that were really born from just our relationship and our conversations about what is needed in the market, driven by a new release, call it the Masami car, or some event that's coming up, or just some opportunity to be positively disruptive to the industry. And I think that's something that really lies and is embedded in our conversation, is how can we be additive to the industry, right? So some of the designs we've been working together, and I would say, Dan and I haven't seen each other physically till last weekend. We saw each other in Indiana, but wow. I think I talked to Dan for sure more than I talked to anybody, possibly my wife, which she'll hate when I say that. But we talk on the phone a lot about something RC related. And I think it was in middle of August. We just said, hey, well, we should kind of do like a car or something. And we both immediately gravitated to low C, and we immediately gravitated to the double X, partly because, I'm a diehard double X, and Dan has double X, I think, running through his blood as well. So, guys know him from a lot of associate, but there's some low C DNA in there. We just felt like it was a platform that needed a little bit of attention, and a platform that really lended itself to be reflected upon. And we really just talked about it. And it wasn't until like 3 weeks ago that we kind of picked a date. So we put everything on kind of warp speed. So it was pretty crazy. So if you've seen Spaceballs, I felt like it's gone plat, because we were just like, let's go. And we just committed we already had a lot of things drawn up and a lot of things done. It's a great partnership. I throw stuff over the fence. Dan has this amazing ability to make stuff. I made some stuff. We prototyped a lot of stuff. And the car was born, and it's really good. I'll be honest. It's not because we did it. It's just we think it's really, really good. And so that's kind of how I've reflected on it. And it's been a whirlwind of a ride, but I wouldn't choose to do it with anybody else. Dan's been great.
That is awesome. That's good. Dan, you have anything to add?
No. Jose pretty much covered it. I mean, it's been a unique. It's been a really good relationship of his ability to see the design challenges before they present themselves, and look at it from a design standpoint, not just as a physical design, but as a mechanical limitation that a racer may come across.
Right.
And then me looking at it as a manufacturer and a machining limitation, it's just been a great dynamic. It's allowed us to go from prototyping to manufacturing and limit the iterations of the prototyping stage. So it's been great. It's been really great.
I think Chris Hackinson says it best. Woo!
Chris
That's
is
my
awesome.
dude right there.
As you might have seen, he's on our team. He's one of the few that we really felt. He's just such a nice guy, and there's so many nice guys. I don't want to limit that, but Chris and I met also in Indiana, and I just connected with him, and we're so excited to have him on our team, and as well as all the other guys. We'll talk about all that later, but he's a cool dude.
He is a powerhouse. And I'll tell you what, when Chris first friended me, I'm like, who in the hell is this dude? Right. And it's like, you never, I don't want to say Chris's book cover is a bad book cover, but he's different, right? He's unique. But I'll tell you what, man, he is one of the sweetest, most genuine people that you'll ever meet. And great job on picking him for the team. I'm going to kick his ass on the track, but
everything you said, Dirk, is spot on.
Guys. Huh?
Everything you said is spot on. But if you look at the team that we put together, I think all of us can say we just love RC. I mean, and Chris just oozes RC, right? And I think we all have this deep desire, this deep passion for this hobby. It's not to discredit anybody. I mean, who's one to opine on how folks feel? But Chris just really is he lives RC. That's what he does. So and he was just a perfect guy to be here with all the other five. It's just we're excited to be going to North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've been. It's going to be very hard for me to be in North Carolina.
Oh, you're going to be there. We're going to get you there.
I'm going to try everything I can. Hopefully I have a job when I get back, but it's something that I go to. This, I think, will be my 4th year going. And it's something I don't like to miss. And you're right. The team you just picked, you've got some of my favorite people on there for sure. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But so talk to me about this release, man. I heard that sold out pretty darn quick. So
I think we had some glitches. Listen, we are so thankful. Dan was at dinner when we released it with his family, and I really wanted him to be at dinner, right, Dan? And Dan was trying to be at dinner, and we were having some, back office support issues on the IT, and our systems weren't ideal. We're trying, And
I wouldn't say that IT is our strong point. So
yeah, but we try, right? We honestly try. And but we would have, the support that we've gotten, I cannot tell you how grateful we are. But technically, through glitches, it sold out in for sure less than 24 hours, which is it's amazing. Just the support and just the positivity, receptivity has been great. And I trust. And when the people drive it, I think they're going to be like, this is really cool.
Oh, I have no doubt. I mean, if you, Jose, knowing you and knowing Dan and knowing what went into this car and your background with LOC and in engineering, and I have no doubt if you say it's going to be great. And I know that we've spent some time talking about it in the background, but you kept this a secret from me for a long time, right?
Yeah.
You normally tell me all your secrets, Jose.
I think I even told you that my wife doesn't even know what we were working on, because we really kind of had this, so I was going to say Area 51, but that's very associated. So we're going to call this Manhattan. We had this Manhattan project between Dan and I. Yeah. And, we were very, very careful from testing to development to even once we picked the team that's going to be in North Carolina with us. I think that they had to sign it in blood that they would not tell anybody. We were very, very careful because we think also, in addition to the release, we want to create some excitement. RC is amazing, right? So it's time to let's be exciting. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's showcase what we can do. And so that was all part of the calculus. It's been pretty crazy. Dan flew just on Saturday to come meet me to go testing. So nobody knew that either. So it's just, that's what we done. So
I guess, Dan.
Yes, sir.
So what are you most proud of about this release? What's your favorite feature of this release? I know you've been doing a lot of stuff, right? I've got two of your cars sitting back here behind me, both Associated, which there's a lot of stuff out there for Associated, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a cool, fresh take on an already very cool car.
Yeah.
And it's just a new way of doing things. I mean, it would be very hard to release and redo everything all at once. So what Jose and I tried to do was focus on the areas of the car that had the greatest opportunity for improvement, and the areas that were the most expensive to repair when they break or being vintage.
Yeah.
And most importantly, stay true to the vintage geometry and the vintage heritage of the car. And most importantly, we wanted it to still be super cool. And
super cool.
Yeah. And there are a lot of really cool features about this car. And looking at it, one of the things I dig most about it that I struggle with regarding some of the the Associated and your typical flat graphite / carbon fiber chassis is where the hell do you stick your body to it? You build you cut Lexan, you cut a shell, you stick it to it, you glue it to it, you 3D print something to stick your shell on the side or whatever. But Jose came up with a really cool scheme that works not just as a way to hold your shell to it, but is also a pivotal part of the battery retention system on the design of the chassis. And it's by far my favorite part of the entire design of the car. You can put the battery on this thing almost anywhere, and it completely changes the characteristics of the car, depending upon the track that you're at, where you move it and how you move it. And I wish I was good enough of a driver to tell the difference.
Right.
But I'm told by people who know that no, just kidding. I mean, not really, but yeah, seriously, that it's such an advantage to a platform that you're really kind of limited as far as is what you could do with it originally, and I think it's probably by far my favorite feature. That and the sexy carbon fiber that it's it's pretty sweet.
And what a nice comment from Jason Ashton. I want to talk to him because I know he killed it. I would love to see them in Vegas. But, Dirk, I want to just expand just one thing that Dan said because he hit on so many key points. But one of the things that people have asked us, and it's hard to see it until you have the car. This car is 100% geometrically a double X. We took so much time in ensuring that to the millimeter, this car is a double X. We even decided, folks were like, well, why would you run the traditional bulkhead, which we know is an issue in the car because it breaks chassis. So we came up with a way to use the bulkhead because we thought that was part of its DNA and do it in a way that it will not break the chassis. So, that feature is gone. That dreaded T-plate, that when you break it, you sometimes take away your gearbox and take away other parts. That's gone. So we really looked at it from a few lenses right from the beginning, and anything that we do in the future, I'm telling you, will follow this blueprint. And that is the blueprint of how do we improve the performance of the car? How do we improve the strength of the car? And how do we improve the performance of the car? And that was really, really important for us from the beginning. And that's something that for those of you that got the initial car, you'll see it is, you can put your original double X, put it next to each other. And I guarantee you that everything will be in the exact same position geometrically and so forth. What we have enhanced is the performance. And once you see the battery system, which can be put in a variety of different configurations, what you'll see is that, I don't want to say it's infinite, but the possibilities are immense to really optimize the weight of the car for any track condition, which of course you could not do in the double X because of the ladder tough design. So that's something that's really key, really facilitated how we deal with electronics, how we deal with different battery types, from a skinny battery to a not skinny battery. And the kit will include all of that to really allow you to do that. Later on, I want to talk about my favorite part, which is the rear shock tower. As boring as that may sound to all of you, we probably spent the most time thinking about that, and I'll explain that whenever you want to talk about that. There.
Well, I was gonna see if you wanted to spotlight. I've got you spotlighted right now, just so you know. You're on a big screen, baby. So
I see myself. It's a little scary.
You're broadcasting all over the world right now with 46 viewers.
All right, let me spotlight the car a little bit here. So I'm going to move around things a little bit. I want to talk about the body because that was a great
remove this thing from Larry. Larry did ask what.
Yeah, it's a great question, Larry, and you're the first one to ask, and I knew somebody would ask that. Some of you may not know that Losi offered all of their double X platforms in 4 length of chassis: a short chassis, a standard chassis, a long chassis, and an extra long chassis. This car chose to have the standard chassis. And we can talk about why that decision was made. And possibly we'll see what the future lies. You guys tell us as consumers. We could certainly consider, because the platform, the way that we design it, can easily offer a short chassis, which could be advantageous for some tracks, longer chassis like for carpet and so forth. We can talk about all that later. I'm going to remove the body. This is the famous body that you've all seen. This is our proud Made in USA body. This is actually Dan McDade's body. Put that aside for a second. We have 2 cars here. This is Dan's car.
Who made those bodies, sir?
So these bodies, it's a great question. I'll talk about it right now. We had a great partnership with Boki. We reached out to those guys early on because of the design of the car. We knew that the original double X body geometrically would fit, but we needed to lower the skirts of the car to really handle the graphite chassis. Those guys, Jeremy and the team, were just fantastic. In working with
an amazing person to work with for sure.
These are cut off. You can actually run it with the rear spoiler section. So we'll talk about that. But he modified the mold. We had to move a couple of things. And we chose the accelerator body because we thought it was a really, really sleek design. And we also then created a unique wing with Boki for it. It's a unique 6.5-inch wing
Oh, I
with
like that.
aerodynamic dimples and everything on there. That is now a product that's available at the Boki site specifically for the Double X Squared.
I wish my dimples were aerodynamic.
Mine aren't either. So, so you want me to show the cars a little bit, Dirk?
Yeah, I'd love to see the setup. You know, I've seen them. I think a lot of people have it. You know, like close-up views, like this.
Yeah. So let me move all this stuff. This is we're proud of our little. We even got box going. We'll talk about that later. These are the same cars. Happens to be Dan's on my. What would be on your left side are my right hand and mine.
So a fast one and a slow one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, mine is the slow one. Dan is the fast one. So mine is set up with the battery in the traverse direction, and Dan is set up in the traditional low C inline direction. This body, as you can see, can be moved all along this way and all along this way. You're able to run a skinny battery or a low center of gravity battery, which I tend to prefer in the car, or a standard 25 millimeter battery. The front ends on these cars are, in essence, we set them up pretty much identical to each other. I'm just going to lower this one for a second because it's easier to see without the tires.
Right.
We work with Sabula Tech. We have their own. That's coming with the car. This is their own replacement. Dragon Punch top plates, Dragon Punch kingpins are also available now at our site. We have 12 millimeter hex conversion, which uses a standard offset wheel. So for those of you that run modern, you're able to take the tires right out of your car and put them on the vehicle itself. So that's a really sleek design.
That's awesome.
We have an integrated coupler here that allows you to run. You can't see it. And as I have it down, you can see that we also work with Privateer. Josh was amazing. And some of you will see tomorrow. Really excited to release the sneak preview of the Double X Squared. This is a prototype Double X Squared chassis skin. And what's really cool about the chassis skin, not only is its durability, but you can actually see that all the holes for the battery adjustment, which I believe is the thing that we're going to be adjusting the most, are already pre-cut. So you don't have to worry about doing that throughout. Dan alluded to the double carbon chassis setup. What's really, really cool is these side guards. People think about side guards as boring. They have recess for your Velcro, so you don't have your body bulging up. That's more of a look feel. But they're actually functional side guards. So they actually, on the traverse direction, prevent your battery from moving side to side. So we didn't have to have any other hardware that holds the battery in place, minimizing weight and everything else. The top plate has been designed that you can actually remove these screws here, one or all four, to improve the tweak and how much flex you have in the chassis for some tracks that have low bite. I mentioned the shock tower. I'll talk about that now, Dirk, really quick.
Yeah.
This is our 2-in-1 shock tower, which I think is really a game changer, both on economics and performance. The same shock tower itself, that's why it has a long body post, can be lowered if you want to run big bores, and can be put in the traditional position if you want to run the standard shocks, all with the same shock tower. So you don't have to buy another shock tower, everything else.
That is genius, by the way. I think we need that for some AE cars too, Dan.
Yeah, nobody's done that, but it's because our chassis allows us to drop it in. So that's a unique piece. The other thing that we felt for the traditional vintage guy, in this case, I'm running it with a fixed wing mount. This is the TLR 22X4 wing mount that will come with the kit. But we also created a part that you can actually bolt to the same tower that allows you to run the wing wires. So people that like wing wires, we will give you both options on the car. On the rear end, it'll come with a motor centering kit. So you can easily, with just about 5 minutes of drilling your motor plate, you can actually center your motor so you can have the specific geometry of the vehicle itself. And of course, it'll come with all kinds of accessories, from a fan mount to all of the other pieces that we think are unique. So that's just a quick overview of the car. You see those details on the site, but you know, we're really excited about all the features that we try to put in there for the racer. And like we want to call it, the modern racer who goes any surface, that they can have the tunability and the long known performance of the Team Losi platform.
Nice. Dude, I mean, it's unbelievable what y'all done, and it's been so needed. I know you and I talked about the front brace and why not a solid chassis, right? And I've seen that come up just in, you know, because we have some private chats with some people across the world that are chatting and talking. And I know that was the first thing I asked you is why. but it makes a lot of sense if you want to tell the people why y'all went with that design.
Yeah, it's a couple of things, right? One of them is you have a much better center of gravity, right? So let's be clear. If I should have just brought my double X chassis, if I put it right here, it is identical to the car.
Yeah.
So there is not a single difference, honestly, and I mean it. I challenge anybody who has a pair of calipers to deal with to the millimeter level and have this debate with me. So we wanted to lower the CG. If we wanted to run the battery traverse, you have to get rid of the scallop in the chassis. That's the reason. And we really felt in the modern world, I mean, you can see that battery is truly in the center of the vehicle. Now, one of the issues with the double X are two in the front end, especially. One of them is that if you break one of those adjustments that connects to the bulkhead, your chassis is done.
Done.
Yeah. Or if you break a screw in your steering assembly, which is right there, your chassis is also done because that was an integrated part of the chassis. So we felt that we wanted to create a product or an engineered part that really is specific to the car in its original place, in its original geometry, that if it were to failure, knock on wood, I should say this about Dan and he'll shoot me later. Dan goes, I'm going to be a stress tester for your car. He has broken nothing on the car. And Dan can attest to that. But
true definition of stress testing.
But you know, one of Dan's concern, rightfully so, was that part right there, that couple, if it was going to be a weak point, and it really has been phenomenal. So we really felt that we wanted to really optimize the weight distribution, the geometry, et cetera, while still honoring the car and creating those elements that are there. So again, it was a design choice that we really feel 100% it was the right design choice. And right now it comes with a 3 millimeter chassis. We optimize it to a 2.5 millimeter top piece. So again, you can see that there's been a lot of thought and consideration to a lot of these things on the car.
So,
and getting rid of the T plate. That was another.
Yeah, I know. Yes,
that's the big challenge. And by the way, these skins are replaceable tails. They'll come with 2 extra tails. So if it wears, you can just put a new tail out.
Yeah, 2 extra tails is always nice. What year? Nick asked a good question. What year is it considered in vintage racing, right? So I think we need to address that now, right?
Yeah.
Because kudos to y'all. I mean, I've seen the chassis lined up. I've seen the measurements. You're not going to be able to tell the difference of this car on the bottom from an XX or the way it looks on the track than an XX. So, you know, my philosophy on this, the first XX came out when, Jose?
94,
right? So typically these cars, Nick, run in the later 2-wheel drive class with your World's cars, your B3s, your B2s, you know, so it's going to be in the normal, not the heritage class. It's going to be in the normal 2-wheel drive class. Now, there are a lot of classes that are popping up by years, right? So if we were to take this car and plant it in the Vegas race, for example, this car would be planted in the later class, which was
I think it was 96. 96 and above. 96, if I remember correctly.
96 and above?
Yeah, because I think that was a double XCR. In Vegas, you guys had the Team Losi double X split into 2 categories.
Yes,
the original double X in one and the double X in the other.
Yeah. Otherwise, you know, honestly, it's going to, in my opinion, it's going to have, I mean, it's probably going to have some advantages, right? But it's going to be all about the wheelman, right?
You know,
and who's driving the car. And there's been some people say, is this car vintage? Yeah. Yes. The car is vintage. They've kept the same stuff to the car. They've made some tricks. You know, a lot of people don't know there were double deckers that Composite did for Losis back in the days and different things as well. There was a shit ton of versions of chassis that came out for the XX. In my opinion, the XX car is probably the second best manufactured car of all time behind the RC10, right? And probably one of the best performing cars of all time. You know, it's one.
Listen, the RC10 is such a memorable car, and you know, we've seen a lot of manufacturers, you know, offer different chassis options for different cars, and it's primarily for the associated platform. And these were maybe iterations, and that were not maybe available from before. And I think, Dirk, you more than anybody know that I reflect on the rules a lot. And I think that's just from a later conversation as the rules are a little bit eclectic and Iconic just came out with their new rules that are getting away from years and things of that nature. That all aside, this is really it's not even a geometric modification. It's really a center of gravity modification on the car, like many of the associated cars have available to them. You know, there's cars that are racing in the vintage community that were never released. The Masami car is an example of that. That was never raced back in the day. So, you know, to me, vintage
it was raced. It just was never released.
Released as a product, right? Correct.
Yeah.
And you know, to me, this and many of the other associated modifications are all part of the fabric of improving these cars and making them more reliable or better performing in the perspective. What Dan and I did is maybe a little bit different. I mean, we really felt we went through extensive amount of, I don't want to call it anguish because it's positive anguish, and I don't know what the right word is, and that's maybe a play on words. To really ensure, not for vintage rules reasons, although it was always in the back of our mind, but really make sure that we honored the platform and the amount of effort that we put to, like, the bulkhead is a great example. It would have been 1,000% easier to not have that scallop bulkhead be part of the design. 1,000% easier, right? But we felt it was the right thing to do, right? And because that car was known for that piece, right? It wasn't known positively for a T-plate, right? So, you know, that's one that we just kind of felt really easy to get rid of. So
I think it'd be easy to argue that it's not vintage correct if you remove the bulkhead.
Right. I agree. But here's the deal. There's been a lot of things done with chassis for many, many, many years, right? Many, many years. I mean, y'all have kept the integrity of the product. And if for some reason somebody doesn't want this at their vintage race, there's something wrong with them. I'm sorry. You know, and you're going to have some people trying to say it.
Sure.
But it truly, it has my support. And, you know, Jose kind of alluded of it earlier. We've been working on some stuff in the background for a long time. You know, trying to line the rules all across the world, trying to see what's best. And I say Jose's mainly done the work, but it's because we care about the vintage community. We want to see the vintage continue to grow. And I was having some conversations last night, and it's like, we can either embrace and ride the wave and enjoy ourselves, or we can draw a hard line in the sand and see what happens on certain products. Right. I had it happen to me. Not long after I came back, where we created a product line and it came out, and, you know, one of my best buddies said, "Hey dude, we're not going to allow this at my race." And it killed the brand. It kicked it down, and it was like, but I understood at that time, but you know, it was something that was, designed exactly off the first mid-motor RC10 that was ever created, right? Exactly the same chassis specs, the same aluminum molding, the same everything. But then, you know, at the same time, you let other weird creations in that should not be there. So it's a matter of, you know, to me, embracing what y'all have done, and because you've done one hell of a job with this, and I'm gonna be honest, the Losi folks need it. We don't know, you know, we truly don't know what's going to happen with Losi long term. I think we're seeing TLR trying to make a comeback.
We got this,
but we do not say what
I said. We got this. We're working on that one too.
Yes. So, you know, we'll see what the long term is. You know, if it was up to me, I would love to see Losi come back. I know that we do have our friend, John at JC Racing, is working on some stuff with JRX2. And one thing I always tell somebody when they call me and say, "Hey, Dirk, what do you think about us doing this?" I've had this conversation with Dan so many times. I've had Jose so many times. Is hey, have you checked with your other buddies in the industry to see what they've got going on to make sure y'all aren't releasing stuff at the same time, right? We saw it happen. I saw it happen with the B3, right? You did the new the stud. I can't remember what that thing's called on the B3.
The Kingpin.
The Kingpin.
Yeah.
And I think within a week we had 2 of them released by 2 different companies. You know,
Same day. Same day.
Yeah. So it's like, and neither one knew what was happening, right? Yeah. So it's important that we communicate as a community and we talk to each other, and we kind of check in with each other, because when it's all said and done, we all have the same end game, right?
Yeah. And I would say, Dirk, in just to add a little bit of listen, we're all adults here. Most people, maybe not little kids. I'll keep this PG. Yeah. The vintage community, as I've been involved with it, it's hard, right? We're trying to balance heritage. We're trying to balance passion. We're trying to balance why are we here? Is it to race, to commute? It's really to me, it's all of everything. And I think sometimes Dirk mentioned this for the folks listening. Dirk and I have ventured to talk to our colleagues in Europe, our colleagues in Australia, and colleagues in the US, and there's differences in rules. And I tend to say I feel like it's 52 shades of gray, not 51, 52, because there's a lot of gray. And we really need to think about why we're doing this, number one. And I think, there's different approaches to consider. But number two is to remind ourselves also to look at it. How do we make it easier for people to want to be a part of this? Yeah. And be inclusive in the whole journey? And while doing it at the same time is how do we create equity, across the different cars?
Yeah.
And Dirk and I, just as a sneak preview for folks, really thinking about it in terms of like disruptive technology. 6-gear versus 3-gear is an example of a really disruptive technology that happened in the story of RC. So I think if we really think about those big monumental innovations in time, I think we'll be able to collectively rationalize an approach that provides a platform for equity, a platform for that we feel like there's fun and there's fairness and there's whatever. It's hard. It's racing. Racing is hard. People do it for different reasons. But, I think that, we're just glad to be part of this journey, trying to do our part to bring the Losi brand and the great work that Dan does and I'm trying to do, and just share it with the masses.
Yeah, I agree. I want to give a little call out to my little buddy, Bryson.
I like Bryson. My new dude.
Bryson is a very special young man, and y'all mark my word that we're going to get this guy set up and get him ready to race at a Worlds one day. It's
official, Dirk. You can announce it. It's official as of today.
Yes,
as of today.
You want to make the announcement?
If Bryson is still on, listen, I met Bryson at the Bonets. We had a great fun time, battle, whatever. But most importantly, we're excited, not vintage related, that Bryson is officially a TLR driver for 2026. And I'm super excited to work with him and nice. Dirk to get us together. He's just going to be great. He's out of the Ohio side, so I don't get to work with him on a day-to-day basis on the East Coast, but I'll be sure to be watching what he does and support him in any way that I can.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And behind the scenes as well, we are working on a couple more big sponsorships for Bryson that will be announced very, very soon. So Bryson, good to see you. With that being said, I don't know if y'all have something in the works for Bryson for this car, but if not, I would like to offer. I'm going to be sending y'all an XX, and y'all have offered to build me a car. I would love to set up this car for Bryson to be able to run it some as well. And I think that would be very, very cool to have him wheel one of these cars, and maybe we can share it. We'll have split custody, and would love to see Bryson wheeling this car, because I know that he'll do probably a lot better things with it than I will, but I do want to wheel this car as well.
You got to drive it first though, Dirk. I am personally going to
100%. For you. Yes. But I will drive it first, and we'll set it up with his his specs and different things. And I'm happy for the little man. I'm happy for everything's going on.
Hey, Chris just commented. Let's talk about Chris.
Well, let's talk about Chris. Pretty boy, one of my probably one that pushes me probably more than anybody. He's got me. Well, he actually has kind of twisted my arm to build a.
Oh yeah.
Hell,
It doesn't really look modern, but yeah. So this is my B7 that
I'm working hard not to say anything, Dirk. I'm just gonna let you live this moment.
Yeah. So I'll be running. You know, those that don't know, I used to race pretty much every week, and I used to run some modern stuff, but I was always racing vintage if I wasn't racing A scale. But going to be running this in a T6 in a couple weeks at Hoosier. In the same week, I'll be headed to North Carolina to run some vintage as well. But you know, Chris really pushes me, and you know, he helps me a lot with the modern and the vintage stuff. And you know, I would call him probably one of my, you know, closest friends in RC. And we spend a lot of time. He's my RC pretty boy, I call him.
Dan and I are both offended that we were not given an opportunity for that title.
Well, I have different names for y'all, but I don't want to share.
They probably cannot be shared.
Bryce is watching, so I want to be careful. But it's you know, I need to get, you know, racing is what fuels me, and I'm not the best racer anymore. Let's face it. But I'll tell you what, when you are racing consistently, you know, and modern, I saw myself go from high C's to winning A's back in the day. And it's really about racing. And, you know, as Chris told me on a post last night, it's like, you need to quit talking about it and come out to the races. And I will be, you know, I'm going to make sure I'm at, you know, I'm going to try to make all the vintage races this year. But I'm definitely going to be supporting the new, J Concepts outdoor series and helping with that. And, I do have those all on my calendar to attend. Hopefully one does not mess with my wife's 50th birthday. I think that would probably be the end of me if I try to take my wife to a race for her 50th birthday. Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna be honest. Chris has kept it a secret from me. I even gave some little hints to see if he would bite.
Nope, no, everybody signed it in blood. Everybody signed it in blood.
I threw the reel out because I saw him posting a lot of Losi stuff, and I knew, but I was, you know, I had to sign in blood too, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't budge.
Thank
But
you, sir.
of all the people that I did not think, but I know that Chris's roots are Losi. I do know that's kind of where he started. And I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool to get back to your roots. And, you know, I did the same kind of when I came back. I came back because, you know, my first, you know, sponsorship and first worlds I went to was with a Kyosho. So,
yeah,
you know, I came back and I still have several Kyoshos, right? But it's good sometime to get back to your roots. And Associated does give us, you know, because we're both Associated guys, and they give us some leniency when it comes to racing the vintage cars. You know, but Associated could also drop the hammer at any time. Who knows? Depends on how they're feeling that day. So, but I don't think so. That would probably be a mistake.
Well, I think you're hinting. Maybe folks on the call don't know, Dirk. That
let's do it.
Maybe Dan and I could just jump in real quick. I'll give you my perspective, and Dan, please weigh in, because Dan and I had a lot of long nights debating. You know, we want to debut the car. We announced it today that we're debuting the car for the first time in its official race capacity. Would be a World of RC, the upcoming event.
Woo.
So we're excited to be back in North Carolina in January. And we've put together a team. There will be 6 cars there in display, running, racing, and we'll be there to support folks, anybody that wants to come see the car, whatever. But, you know, we're really excited about, we really handpicked these guys. They all happen to be guys for this event. And for a very intentional reason. I did it alphabetically in the video today. So I know we talked about Chris, but Chris, like me, has a later last name. So Chris will go second to last. We picked Frank Denny. Frank and I, we've raced, gosh, so long. Frank is also a Losi guy, historically, currently an associated factory driver, and just a great guy, and who really cares about RC, really takes a lot of passion. He's the owner of FDJ Motorsports, which makes great sauce.
Best in the business.
One of my sponsors, who I really, but not really nothing. He's just really a nice guy, really committed to what we're doing, and just excited to kind of have him. And of course, we mentioned Chris Hackinson earlier. I'm going to try to do this alphabetically. And Chris is just Hij. Yeah. And I had to think about that. And he's just a great guy. And I met him in Indiana, and he's just so much energy. We love Chris. We got Mike Kendall. Mike Kendall and I raced in California in the 90s. Actually, the track at World of RC's home track. And I really love Mike, and I got connected with him a few years ago, and he's just a great guy, and really excited about him. And he's just coming back into vintage, and he's going to join our journey. And he's been working his butt off to get the car built. Just an amazing family, an amazing guy. And of course, we got Dan McDade, professional race car driver.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Dan.
The best.
I mean, we're all trying to pace up Dan. So we're all working setups through Dan. But just, it was fun to see him, by the way. He hadn't hold the radio, I think. Dan, did you say a decade?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
The guy collects an animal, but never goes on the track. Yeah. And we got him on the track. So that's probably my proudest moment.
Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned Chris Van Air. And Chris, I've known Chris on and off, but we reunited, I think I would argue, in Indiana. And he does really well on the track. Just a good guy. Works hard, races hard. Just really excited to have Chris give us feedback and race the car, push the car. And myself. So that's the team for World of RC. And Dan, what are your thoughts? Anything that I missed there?
No, it was I mean, we've done some testing, a fair amount of testing with the car, tested its various setups and durability, and it's ready to rock, man. It's going to be fun to see. It's going to be awesome to see people's reaction with it on the track and their reaction to it in person. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. And it was my first time at the facility, and it was really cool place. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is because he's said it before. But I heard the great Steve Dunn's going to be showing up.
Yeah, Steve's going to make it. I've been talking to him online. He's going to be there.
All right. Him and I may have to fist fight in the middle of the track before everything starts. But
I think he's running the JRX Pro SE. I think that's the car that he's working on.
All right. I'm excited to see him wheel again. I've been trying to get him back forever. I wanted him in Indiana and all that. And Steve thinks I talk a lot of shit about him. I don't. It's fun, loving. Care, when I was a kid, Steve made me cry a few times at the track. I'll just say that. It's just because there's a lot of tough love back in the day. So I'm excited to see him. I've talked to Mike on the phone a few times. I was talking to Steve a few times on the phone, and Jay actually called me this year because him and Mike and a few other guys take trips to Alaska every year to go fishing. And he called me this year from Alaska when everybody was hanging out, and it was good just to reminisce and talk. But I'm really, really excited to see Steve and see him racing again. Because he's playing with big cars now. So if y'all did not know, there's definitely, other than the legends on the screen, there's going to be a very well-known legend at the race as well. Another one was planning on coming, but he has a big project that he's working on, and he wants to dedicate and get that project finished so he can release it to you folks something that you've been waiting on for a very, very long time. So, yeah, I mean, the race is going to be exciting. I keep seeing questions pop up. Like, when is the next release? What is freaking next, man?
We just released it in it hasn't been even like 4 days.
Well, come on, dude. You sold out in
listen,
12 hours.
And Dan, and I think if Mike Kendall is on the call, we have developed probably a couple of parts since the release. I mean, we are not stopping. I'm telling you right now. Dan, listen, tell me if you're okay with this sentence. I'm going to say it anyways. Our goal is to do whatever we can and stay married. That's the goal.
Right. Well, yeah, don't do that.
What do you think, Dan? Is that our slogan? That should be our new slogan.
To our wives, not each other.
Yeah, well, yes, there's not an option.
Well, y'all gotta stay married too, though. I mean,
yes.
Right. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, there are. This is just the first step in the journey.
Okay.
And Jose and I have a lot of crazy ideas, and the commitment that we've made is that we're not gonna release anything that's half baked, and
Right.
we're gonna vet everything that we do thoroughly, test everything extensively, and anything that comes out is going to be ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
And
I understand what you're saying about new stuff, but what about like the stuff you already released, and when will we see more kits of the XX2?
Jose,
Sunday. Yeah, it goes live. That store will go live on Sunday with the Elite and the Essentials kit at both DragonPunchRC.com and Z3DParts.com.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure a link will be posted on some page out there.
Sure. Yeah. So just for clarification.
Yes, please.
The Founders Edition was 25 cars or 25 kits created in custom silver carbon with each chassis that we produce will be engraved with a XX² logo and a serial number. The Founders Edition has engraved with Founders Edition in the battery box, and each chassis moving forward will have the logo and the serial number. The Elite Edition will also be serialized and have the logo, and the Elite Edition is going to be identical to the Founders Edition, but will be in black twill instead of silver.
Nice. Okay.
So,
all right.
Same price point.
And there will be no more Founders Edition. I think just to be clear, that is a special thing that we wanted to do.
Okay. Yep. All right. And how many of the next edition? What's the next edition again? Sorry. You have the
Founders or Elite. And Dan, I'm just going to say it because I think folks will be excited or disappointed. Either one could work both ways. We're working as hard as we can, but this first offering of those, there's only going to be 25 total, and they go live on Sunday.
So 25 of the next edition.
Let me clarify.
Okay, I'm confused.
The first batch, there will be 25.
Yes.
It is not going to be a limited release.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. But they all will be numbered.
Correct.
So if you sell 10,000 of these cars, there'll be a 10,000.
Correct.
On the 10,000th car.
Yep.
That
if
is
there
awesome.
are 10,000 of them, I'll buy you a beer. How's that sound?
Well, I mean, you're probably going to have to buy me more than a beer if we sell 10,000 of these.
Yeah.
But a beer sounds nice.
Yeah. I'll buy you a beer.
I
already owe Jose a beer. So
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of beers owed. I don't really drink anymore. But I will drink with you. I will drink a beer with you for sure. I just saw Mike Kendall pop up. Mike, man, it's good to see you again. What a name
right there. Love that guy.
The name from the ages right there. I know that Mike and I rubbed some elbows back in the day, and I'm sure he raced with some with the Duns and stuff as well.
Oh yeah.
Mike's been around. Mike's been around a long damn time.
Oh yeah.
Mike's got to be mid 50s.
Today is Mike's birthday. Let's just
Is
give
it
him
really?
a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike. How old is Mike today? I'm trying to.
I think Mike is 49. I
49.
actually I
So he
don't
is
know,
a
but I
little
know
young.
Mike and I are very close. So I think I'm
Okay.
guessing.
All
49.
right. Okay.
December birthdays are for winners.
Yes,
They are. Yeah, my son's is actually the 26th, day after Christmas. That was fun.
Mine's
I
next Monday.
don't
Dirk.
really drink, Chris said. I don't, dude.
Hey, Dirk, my birthday is Monday, so don't forget to send me
Your
the gift.
birthday's Monday.
Chris
Hey,
is a
Siri,
damn.
set a reminder to put Jose's birthday in my calendar for Monday.
Chris is a damn liar.
No, he drinks.
He's mocking me, is what he's
This
doing.
is for Chris.
I don't, right? Yes. Jose. Oh, you did watch me drink green tea in Vegas. Yeah.
Even I drink.
Sometimes, man, I have a kryptonite, Jägermeister, and
no.
I might have done a little too much and might have had. Yeah. Needless to say, I will never have Jägermeister ever again in my life.
Yeah, that's not good, man. You're too old for that, man.
That's what she tried to tell me.
Not since college. Yeah.
Say what?
Not since college, Jaeger. No.
Not since college?
No.
Brock Peterson.
Brock. I like Brock. Brock's a great guy.
He is. My goal is to beat Brock this event.
There you go. Everybody should have a goal.
Huh?
Everybody should have a goal. That's a good goal. Brock would say, bring it.
Everybody should have a goal. It may not be a SMART goal, but it is a goal. If y'all know what a SMART goal is.
I do. Specific,
Yeah,
measurable. I know exactly what you're talking about. We're good.
All right. Actionable.
Yep.
All right, we're doing good. All right. So measurable, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to accomplish it though. Look at Nick Moto.
Nick, I thought he's taking a Christmas break. I thought he was out till New Year.
Oh, he is. He's not packing any products. I ordered like 30 things so that when he comes back, he'd have a bunch of orders to fill.
By the way, Nick's a great guy. He's doing a lot of stuff in Moto Obscura. Nick, we're hoping that the release of the car will even bring more sales to Moto Obscura. So that's the goal.
I agree.
100%. We are. Yeah, we want to support anyone else who's supporting the industry as well. I mean, it's
100%. Yeah, and Nick was probably one of the first ones. Well, I think one of the first ones to produce a part for the Losi cars was actually Saba, right? Which y'all got your bulkheads from.
Yep.
Yeah, Bulletech, old RC. I think they go by as well. They were one of the very first to produce parts for the Losi products. So a good win there. They've been mastering that bulkhead for a long time.
Yeah, it's a great product. We thought it was a no-brainer for us.
Yep.
Yeah. So and it's good that this is creating partnership.
Yeah.
There's going to be parts that Nick makes that will work on his car as well, right?
100%.
So I mean, I think this is a slam dunk, guys. Wow. I'm starting to get really pumped, and now I'm not going to be able to freaking sleep tonight, and I'm going to blame y'all tomorrow.
Sorry, Derek.
I'm sure you'll text us and blame us. That's all good.
Yeah, I might.
No, but you were hitting on this, Dirk. I mean, I think, we want everybody, we all need to support each other. It's part of the vintage fabric, right? It's that sense of community, and we are all doing this because we love it, right? And that's it at the end of the day, right? Dan and I, for the folks that just called in, again, we think that there's just so much opportunity to make this vintage thing more special than it is, and we're just excited to be part of it.
Yeah. Is there anything else? Just so you know, I've got huge storms moving in our area. So if something happens that we black out, it's not from Jägermeister, it's from the storm, I promise. So anybody have questions? Look at there, another legend.
Travis. I love Travis. I'm still trying to reconnect in 3D. No pun intended, for the Z3D with Travis. I haven't seen him in a long time. I talked to him online. He's a great guy, and I do want to connect with him.
Yeah, Travis. Just so you know, I'm trying to get you and Jason Ashton together to do a live cast recap from the race. If you're interested, I know that I think you are. Oh shit, I got some air in my shocks.
That's just an associated shock.
Yeah, I know. They just do that, right? Yeah, just blame it on them. We also have Son Anderson on. If y'all don't know who Son is, he has taken over one of the most iconic RC tracks in the country, and where I raced my last winter Nats at.
Oh, I love Tampa.
Yes. So, Son, and by the way, guys, we're going to be starting. I was going to post it tonight, but it's probably going to be tonight. We're going to be posting another waffle to raise money. We've had a couple kits donated to raise money. I'm also going to be donating one of my kits to help them raise money to continue rebuilding the track down there in Tampa. So I have went brain dead. I talk about this track all the time. But we will be raising some money. I'll be doing a waffle. I'll be posting it. Hopefully, maybe my plan is if we can get everything sold out to go live on Christmas and do it on Christmas. That way, somebody wins a little Christmas special there. So be posting that up. I don't know if Jose. I have lost my list. Let me see if here it is. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Will the kits be available at hobby shops, or are they just going to be exclusive on y'all sites?
Dan, you want to take this one?
There will be a handful at the World of RC at the event.
Oh wow!
In January.
Really?
Yep.
No shit.
So,
that's nice.
Yeah. But as it stands, right now, currently, they're just going to be. Aside from there, they'll be just at our sites. In the future, they may be available elsewhere, but as it stands, just exclusively through our sites.
I think it would be really cool.
Dirk, so sorry to interrupt because I want to get people excited about this.
Yeah.
At World of RC, the team, Chad Dunn and everybody, I posted on it, but I want to make sure people read it because their post can be long. We will be raffling a XX² at the World of RC, and all the proceeds go to the track. So please support Chad and World of RC. We need these local owners who work tirelessly to give us tracks to do well, right? Without them, we don't have anything. Let's just call it a spade.
Yeah.
So Chad was very supportive of us. I want to make sure that folks, if you're there, I don't know if Chad's going to put tickets available online that's up to him to do, but we will be having a kit that they will raffle, and that's for Chad and the team.
Wow. Dwayne Walter just said, I will donate a painted body for them. I don't know if he's talking. Oh, he's probably talking about the fundraiser down in, oh my goodness, my brain. Yes. Help me out, Dwayne. So it looks like he's going to do a painted body for them. So that's awesome, dude, that y'all are going to do that waffle there. That'd be cool. I was just saying it might be cool to just build my track or my car down in North Carolina and do it just live for everybody to see it.
Yeah. And by the way, that's a great point. We didn't talk about this, Dirk. We're going to be launching a lot of things just to keep, not only are we a brand of what we're trying to do, we're trying to really support those who buy the car, right? And the racers and all. Speaking specific to Modern Vintage and our sole product right now, which is, of course, the XX², we're going to provide setup sheets at our site. That'll be coming as soon as they start getting generated. We're going to be doing how-to videos on the build of the car, what to look for, things of that nature. So, pay attention. We're trying to do more, trying to make it easier for everybody just to learn about the car and just enhance the experience. So more to come there. Stay tuned.
Everybody's thinking about it.
You know that I have worked on that car more than anybody, more than you.
You probably worked on this a lot. This is Phoenix, right?
So what is your question, Dirk?
You know what my question is. I'm holding the damn question in my hand. Do I really have to tell you what the question is?
We want it verbalized.
Well, will there be a truck version of this kit?
I'll let my lawyer Dan speak to that.
I mean, anything's possible, right? I mean,
right?
If you were going to make a modular kit in design, and you were an engineer, what would you do?
I mean, it would make sense.
I mean, it would, right?
I'm not an engineer, but I'm a businessman.
Yeah, right. But you wouldn't do everything all at once, right? You wouldn't light all the fireworks.
No. I mean, I lit a fire on this thing one time.
That I believe.
So,
yeah, maybe.
Maybe is the answer, right?
I mean, if y'all look closely,
I've seen that battery brace.
You can still see the burn marks in the shock tower.
But look at that battery brace survived.
Yeah, battery brace
survived.
I think I am going to bring my transmission case is broke. I got to see if I have one.
But it would not break on the new car.
We super glued it together. Look at there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a zip tie holding the transmission together. Yeah, it just made me think,
I think
probably my most favorite truck of all time right here.
Yeah.
And I said I was retiring it after Vonats, but
no, well, we may find a new life for it.
I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm not trying to put too much on you, Dan. I'm just, I'm sitting here thinking that, a truck would be nice someday. Don't have to be this year, maybe next year, next year, Dan.
Jose doesn't know us very well.
Y'all probably already got the damn plans for it, if I'm guessing.
No comment.
No
comment. Yeah, next year is pretty soon, though. Yeah. I was trying to make a joke, but
yeah.
No, I heard you.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we got any questions. Oh wow, Chris just said, "Wow, is he gonna show up with all Losi?"
Chris does Chris, man. So
yeah.
No, Chris is always working on something. That guy commits a lot to RC. So.
Oh my goodness, he is always racing. Always.
He's early.
Always.
I think Chris wants to prove a point that you can go in with just true vintage stuff and be competitive. And
of course you can.
You don't need to go in with all the newfangled things and still go in and kick butt.
Yeah. All right, fellas. I can't thank y'all enough for joining me tonight. And I couldn't be more proud of two dudes and what y'all done with this. I'm going to try to see if there's a few questions, Dan, but if you want to say any closing comments, I'm going to open it up to you first.
Just, want to thank everybody for, supporting us, and Dirk, want to thank you for your time, and Jose, as always, thank you for everything. This has been awesome. You guys are a true treat.
Thank you, Dan. Jose?
Listen, ditto for sure, Dirk. You are certainly just a great champion for this vintage thing that we do. I don't even call it a movement. It's just a thing that we do. And you are undoubtedly right in the middle of everything. So thank you for everything you're doing for us. Thank you for inviting us to your live cast and making us a part of your reach and what you do for this industry. We're just excited and thankful for the support that you all have given. We are going to continue to work our butts off to provide all of you what we think is going to be a really exciting product for all of you. And we're just excited about the future. Give us feedback. We're always working on things. Just excited for everything and the support that we've gotten to date, and looking forward to seeing many of you in North Carolina in January. Please stop by. Come see the car if you don't have one. We'll have several of them there for people to see. And, of course, there'll be several of them, 6 of them on the track racing. So Yeah, stop by, say hi, ask questions. Check out our site. That's going to be, it's not just a sales site. It's a site that you can get information, learn how to, whatever setups, etc. So we're just trying to provide the best product we can and the best support that we can for all of you. So thank you.
Yeah, you guys are nailing it. You guys literally blow me away like a Cow RC mini jet blaster, just so y'all know. If you want to blow your car,
Whoa.
it up a little bit, selfless plug for one of my favorite companies, Cow RC. Hey,
Good guy.
it's all about the car. It's all about, if you don't know Heath Mescal, he is one hell of a dude. And, we're all in it together, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
All right, fellas, I can't thank y'all enough. I'm going to go rest in the rain, and I can't wait to see you guys in North Carolina. And I can't wait to see how this car performs. And wow, y'all picked one hell of a team, I'll tell you that. So, man, I'll tell you what, Frank Denny is hard to beat at that track, my friends. And some of the best battles, right? They were right in the middle of one when I cut my freaking finger off last year.
That's why I got second in that class.
I know. Yeah, you were worried about me, right?
I stopped. And I was like, what's going on with Dirk?
Hopefully I don't walk in that building and start having PTSD. But if there's a folding chair, I'm leaving. I'm just saying it right now.
Is that the event?
Oh, yeah. It was during
my goodness.
Man, it was during my 4-wheel drive event.
Oh, no.
Wow. Yeah. Little. So did Frank win in that race?
Yes, that's the one I lost. Thank you, Dirk, for reminding me.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, Frank's fast. You guys battle. Y'all race really well together.
Yeah, Frank and I, listen, there's going to be a lot of battles, and that's what it's about, right? I mean,
yep.
You know, you win some, you lose some, you chalk it up, you come back stronger the next time. To me, that's something that I live by. And, Frank is going to run great. Chris is going to run great. The other Chris is going to run great. Mike, Dan. I mean, listen, we're just excited to do whatever we can for this vintage community, and it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a hoot.
Yeah, I'm excited to go help support Chad and the event again. And we were really going to try to blow this event up this year, but it's kind of really happened. We did a couple of announcements.
It's sold out.
Huh?
It's sold out.
It's sold out. It's going to be their biggest 10th scale event ever at their location.
I think it might be bigger. Chad can verify this. I think it might be bigger than their signature event, which is the Beast, which is an amazing event, by the way.
Yes.
But last year we broke the record on the vintage, and we're going to break it again.
Yes. I'm hearing we're going to have close to 250 there.
Yeah, 230 something.
That's going to be, that will be so far the third largest vintage event held in the U.S. if they hit 250.
And I think it's capped by pit space.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's
unless you want to be outside, right?
No.
And trust me, you don't. Not that time of year. One thing I will tell y'all is prepare for weather. I haven't been there 1 year yet and didn't have to drive home in snow, but it's beautiful. We're going to have a great time. We typically do a lot of events and stuff after the race. We go hang out, which is kind of a tradition. I try to do at every race, right? We hang out as a group. We do, I was thinking, I don't have a hotel yet, actually.
By the way, neither do we. So don't.
I guess I need to figure that out. I was getting ready to say y'all could come hang out at the Airbnb, but that's actually the one that me, Chris, and Owen have for Hoosier 4.0 or the Clash 4.0 in Indiana here in a couple weeks. They've already hit 250 on RC sign up. Okay, that's amazing, Christopher. I'm excited to see my boy Big Dave too, man. Hopefully Dave's there. Big Dave
for sure.
Another hell of a racer, and he is a sweet. He's a big teddy bear, and his wife is awesome as well. So, man, I'm just excited, just sitting here talking about seeing my buddies again and hanging out and doing some racing. It just, it does something for you, right?
It really does.
All right. We could talk forever. Love you guys.
Thank you,
can't say it enough. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing. Make sure you're doing great things for the wives as well. I know, Dan, that I see you constantly taking yours on trips. I need to follow in your footsteps. Because, you know, sometimes it seems like all we do is RC, and we got to make sure we are cherishing the ones we love the most. And
about the only time I get a chance to see her is when we get away.
Right?
No, so
I would love to see her at an event with you.
yeah, well,
that would be cool.
yeah.
I know mine travels with me the most. So, all right. Yeah. Love you guys.
See you, buddy.
Enjoy your night. And I can't wait to see this car in action and all the great things it does. Yeah. Show that box off real quick. I don't think he showed the box. That is nice. Love that logo. I think I'm going to go get I'm going to go get some black spray paint and do that in my room right now, I think.
Right?
So is it XX2 or is it XX squared?
Double X squared.
Double X squared. See, I've been saying it wrong the whole time.
See now? Yeah, we wanted to really. Yeah, listen, we got to go. We just want
to. We got to go. See you guys.
Yeah,
love you. Mean it. Peace out.